Hi there, Joan Kosmachuk of joankosmachuk.com, your seasonal color, style, and confidence coach. And I am here today with a special guest.
Hello, I'm Denise Lampron from Mature Beauty and Style, and it's a delight to be with you today, Joan.
We wanted to just hop on and do this little video so you could learn something about the seasonal color analysis. And the thing is that often people think if you are a winter or an autumn or a summer or a spring, that you would get the same palette as someone else who is from that season. And is that correct, Denise?
Don't think so.
No. In the Caygill style of seasonal color analysis, every palette is quite personal and it relates to your personal color harmony. Mm-hmm. So if we just compare, Denise and I are both springs.
Yes.
But if we compare our coloring, you can see that our personal color harmony is very different.
Quite different, yes.
Yes, and so therefore we get different colors in our palette. So I am going to get a color that relates to my hair color.
And I'm going to get a color that relates to my hair color.
I have a green eye.
And I have a dark brown eye.
So you can see our eye colors are going to be very different.
Mm.
My skin is quite pale with kind of a peachy undertone.
And mine is sort of a medium brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with a warmth to it,
With a
kind of a
warmth.
golden warmth to it.
Yes.
So you can imagine if a color consultant is working off of our personal color harmony, there is no way
No way.
that we could come up with the same palette. But we need the same quality of color.
Yes.
So for springs, the quality of color is clear and sometimes tinted.
Mm-hmm.
And my colors, I think, are a little bit more tinted, and Denise's are a little bit more clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we show them our palettes?
Let's.
Yeah. So
You go.
there is my palette, and you can see we have coloring that relates to my hair color. We have my eye color in here.
Yes.
Right down here.
Yes.
I'm not very good at reading upside down, and my skin tones very much me.
Yes.
And then now we're going to take a look at Denise's, and you can see the difference. So we can see the similarity in terms of the quality of color.
The clarity is there.
Yes, you can really see that. But let's look at the differences, Denise. Why don't you walk us through yours?
And the hair color, again,
Yes.
upside down.
Yeah.
The hair color and the eye color. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The eye color
Yeah, completely different.
and
The
skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
You can really see it in the skin tone.
Yes, absolutely. There's,
The,
yeah, we can kind of put them under each other, and you can see just my skin tones compared to Denise's skin tones, and even our related reds are very different because what they bring out, and it's hard to pick up the variations in the coloring in this light, but I think it's important to note I have a dark green formal neutral. Denise,
ivory.
yes, and she's got this gorgeous black to relate to her hair, and I have a more casual hair color, which is more of a taupe,
A taupe.
beige.
Yes.
Off, yeah, it's a funny color, and it keeps changing, and that's one of the things that
Yeah.
changes as we age.
Yes.
And our hair color changes, or if we end up changing it ourselves, sometimes
It
happens.
changes.
It
Yes.
changes, and so that's the one color on your palette that's gonna, kind of
Morph a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my silvers are coming in.
right. And soon, that will have to be taken into more
Yes.
consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So that just gives you a little bit of a glimpse into two springs. There is, besides our coloring and our color palette, there's some other differences about us, Denise.
Yes.
So our style, for example. Let's
Yes.
talk about your style.
Yes, as Joan has said, I'm a spring, and my style is not typically spring. I have elegant plus creative, and so that requires me to focus in on certain types of fabrics a little bit more. I'm probably less playful than maybe your average spring, if you can
Or
say such a thing, or
stereotypical.
stereotypical spring, yes. And so that makes a difference too in how your colors translate and how you wear them and the styles that you pick.
Absolutely. And my style tends to be more sporty. But it's a feminine version of sport.
Yes.
I like that little bit of romantic in there.
Yes.
And so, you can just see by what we're wearing. My look is very simple. Also, you'll look at the scale of my jewelry
Yes.
versus the scale of Denise's jewelry. And that makes sense because the scale of the features on our face. Look how tiny my mouth is for my face.
And the size of mine.
And so when we're, choosing accessories, I have to look for small to medium scale, and you're
Medium
looking
to larger.
medium to larger scale.
Yes.
So so that those
All
are
that
some,
plays a part.
right. These are some interesting differences, and you might say, well, why does any of that matter? Why does any of that matter?
It matters. All of these pieces come together to create you, the visual harmony of who you are.
Yes, the visual harmony between you and your clothing. And when we get it right, the only thing people notice is that you look terrific.
They notice you.
Right.
And that's what we want for you.
That's right. When we get it wrong, most people don't notice that either. They just don't.
Something's off.
Yeah,
Something
something's
isn't
off.
quite right.
Right. And so they might think, oh, I like that coat. But they're not looking at the whole person.
They're not seeing the complete person, and they're not seeing you. That's what we don't want. We want you to be seen.
Yeah, that's the goal of seasonal color analysis.
That's the goal, the whole goal.
So you might be a spring and have completely different coloring from both
The
of
two of
us.
us. Yes.
And so that's why your palette will be personal to you. Anyways, we thank you for joining in. We hope you've learned something today. And till next time.
Thank you. Bye for now.